BLUELOCK spin-off manga episode Nagi has recently released its 31st chapter, completing the 4v4 game in the second selection, a game that has lasted nearly as long as the PXG vs Bastion München game. Facing off against Karasu, Otoya, and Kiora, Barō and Nagi make their final push towards the enemy, and towards victory. But what unknown hurdle will they be faced with in order to win the game, and how will it affect their egos moving forward? Well, in this video I'll be going through BLUELOCK episode Nagi chapter 31 and giving my thoughts and breakdown of the chapter, as well as my predictions for Nagi's development in the future. Now, unlike my typical chapter reviews, I do have the official and English scans for this video, so you don't have to worry about a mistranslation. And let me just say, the art this chapter is beyond amazing, so be excited. Before I get into the chapter though, I want to leave a spoiler warning for the events of this chapter, and if you want to read it for yourself, I would suggest clicking off this video now. But because we're going to be going through the chapter in this video, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. The chapter picks up where the previous one left off, where we see Barō and Nagi begin their duo rush down the field. We see their auras flare in combination as we begin a small monologue from Karasu. Right now, it's 3-on-1. Chill out. We get the numerical advantage. Now calmly, hunt them down. We see Karasu, Otoya, and Kiora prepare for the attack from Barō and Nagi. We cut to Barō and Nagi, who both reflect on their moments with Isagi. Beat Isagi, Nagi says as he reflects on his moment with him in the first selection. Shut the fuck up, Sherlock. I'm on a roll. Surpass Isagi, Barō says as he reflects on his moment with him in the second selection. Don't get in our way, loser. We see Nagi pass to Barō as both players split up to challenge their own opponents. Barō receives the ball and dribbles around Kiora as Nagi weaves past Otoya with pure speed. Barō sees Nagi in a good position and passes the ball to him, while keeping Kiora from stealing it. Nagi traps it and prepares to face Otoya on the ball. He performs a spin trap which reminds me of the twin gun volley as he chips a pass back towards Barō, who is currently clashing against Kiora in a battle of physique. Barō traps the ball and immediately begins to rush forward while Kiora struggles to keep up. While Kiora is occupying Barō though, Karasu rushes in to make the matchup a 2-on-1. Barō and Karasu officially begin their matchup as he attempts to break free from Karasu with a chop dribble, however he sticks his hand out to try and hold Barō back. Barō swats his hand away and we get this beautiful aura display of the crow and Barō's lion fighting against each other. But with Barō focused on Karasu, Kiora attempts to slide in to steal the ball from a lower angle. However, Barō chips the ball upwards, which shocks both Kiora and Karasu. Gotcha, you losers. Barō zones in on the perfect shooting spot where it appears that he has activated Predator Eye. This goal is mine, he screams. However, just as he's about to shoot, a phantom version of Isagi appears in front of Barō. Loser, it says. Barō is surprised by this. Isagi's phantom? Come to me. Let's fight again, it says. Barō finds himself unable to shoot thanks to Isagi's phantom and begins a small monologue. I see. I'm chasing after you, my nemesis. And I can't surpass you with a shot like that. Barō instead uses a chop feint to make a pass over to Nagi, shocking both Karasu and Kiora. He didn't shoot? He used a chop kick to make a last pass? We see Nagi rush towards the pass as Otoya prepares to stop him. Must stop Nagi, he says. However, Nagi tells Otoya that he's too late. I'm not stopping, ninja. Nagi uses a new trap technique, the direct heel lift, to send the ball flying over Otoya instantly. Huh? The hell is that? He used an ultra tier trap technique? Shit. He got right past me, Otoya says as Nagi slips past him. Karasu, Aiki, and Kiora all react to the play. He really is a prodigy, Kiora says. How extraordinary can you be? Karasu asks. We lost, Aiki says, shocked. But Nagi doesn't believe his challenge is done just yet. No, not yet. We see that Isagi's phantom has come to challenge Nagi in a 1v1 for the goal. Isagi would come after me, he says. Don't look down on soccer, the phantom says. Okay, Nagi replies. Nagi begins to match up against the phantom, keeping possession of the ball with a rise trap. However, the phantom is keeping up with Nagi and begins to charge at him with a rushing move. But Nagi sees this and lets the ball drop from his feet. He then smashes the ball into the ground, bouncing over the phantom's slide, very similar to the monster smash lift in Bachata's monster trance. Everyone is shocked at Nagi's current play. Barō asks, do you feel him too? Nagi begins his monologue to close off the game. This is it. This fire. This pleasure. Nagi plants his foot on the ground as his aura radiates around him. We see Isagi's phantom aura begin to dissolve. I have things I could lose, and dreams I'm putting on the line. So that's why I can get fired up. Nagi's aura flares around his eyes. Right now, the most fired up in the world, Nagi takes a powerful shot which mirrors Isagi's direct shot. His death aura flows behind him as his shot flies past the AI goalkeeper. Is me! Nagi screams as the ball flies into the net, scoring the final goal of the game. We cut to Barū staring at Nagi and Isugi's phantom as it begins to crumble away. The phantom looks at both Nagi and Barū as they both stare back, and the two players bid the phantom farewell, closing off the game at full time with a score of 5-4. We cut to Chigiri screaming with the excitement at their victory, and we see Zantetsu rush over to congratulate them. We see the reactions from Team Red as we see that Karasu is royally pissed off. For the final page of the chapter, we see Nagi basking in the light as his heat has finally allowed him to conquer the field as its god. Winner, Team White. Nagi, Barū, Chigiri, Zantetsu. And with that, we not only have the end of the chapter, but the end of the second selection 4v4 game. And I gotta say that ending in that game, mwah, chef's kiss. Before I go into my thoughts on the chapter, if you are enjoying this video so far, leave me a like and subscribe down below to see more awesome Blue Lock content just like this. And if you want to become a member of the channel, you would unlock some awesome perks, including custom video requests and shoutouts in videos. All of the funding goes directly towards the Blue Lock New World movie, so if you'd like to share your support, become a member. Now, there is so much stuff that happened in this chapter that was not only so awesome to see, but also hints towards the main series and possible future development. The first thing I want to point out is Isugi's phantom. The manifestation of Isugi's phantom is incredibly similar to Sai's phantom in the PXG vs Bastard München game, and that simply can't be a coincidence here. I like to take this as a sort of comparison that Sai and Isugi are basically two sides of the same coin. Like if Sai had stayed a striker, he would pretty much be Isugi, and Isugi would be the vice versa to Sai. It also explains why Sai acknowledges Isugi at the end of the U20 game as the striker who can change Japan. It's kind of calling into that way of like, oh, I once had the dream that you had, but I didn't have the potential. You have that potential. Seeing Isugi's phantom push Barū and Nagi to their limits of their plays and egos was just such a cool thing to see in this final chapter, and I hope we get to see this explored in the future with other characters. I mean, Bachata's monster was somewhat similar to these phantoms, so I'm curious if Bachata would have a moment like this in the future. The next thing I want to talk about is Barū subconsciously awakening Predator Eye in his matchup against Karasu and Kiora. Now, I'm not totally opposed to this being Predator Eye or just being a style from the artist, but you could honestly argue it either way here. I mean, Isugi did awaken Metavision in the third selection, so it is kind of possible that Barū could have temporarily awakened Predator Eye in this game, if only for a small moment. And maybe Isugi's phantom appearing was another way of telling him that he just isn't ready for that ability just yet. Maybe it is Predator Eye, maybe it isn't. I don't know. The last thing I want to talk about here is Nagi himself and the plays that he showed during this chapter, because I think it could give us a hint as to how he is going to reawaken and defeat Barca, but would also give us a hint towards his true flow state, or his version of Destroyer mode or Monster Trance. From Nagi's style of play, he's really showing that he doesn't need a perfect pass in order to win 1v1s, as his style of traps and moves against Toya allow for Nagi to move with the utmost freedom. And after scoring his goal and beating Isugi's phantom, Nagi's pose is very similar to his posture after his goal in the Manchan City game after beating Isugi himself. The biggest issue with how Manchan forced Nagi to play is that they made him play in a style similar to a talented learner, always analyzing, thinking, and creating a play based on options. But Nagi is a genius, which is something that Isugi says on numerous occasions, but is also something that Kiora said in this latest chapter. I think the trick to Nagi's evolution will be to embrace this style here, playing like a genius by using his weapons instinctually to move while having someone like Ryo support his ideas that he creates naturally. And by performing high-level techniques like the Death Smash lift against Isugi's Phantom and the Direct Heal lift against Toya, we could potentially see something similar to these plays in the match against Barca. But that's only speculation at this point. And that was just my breakdown and thoughts regarding Blue Lock episode Nagi chapter 31. The art in this chapter was absolutely phenomenal, and I am so excited to see what comes next. Now with this game over, Nagi's team will soon be faced with the challenge of the World 5, and I'm really excited to see more Loki and Luna content. But aside from that, I hope you guys did enjoy this video and will continue to enjoy it in the future. Now I was planning on releasing another video today, but because of the release of this chapter, it completely ruined my schedule, so that video is going to be dropping on Wednesday. But don't worry, you're going to be getting this video on Saturday, the main Blue Lock manga chapter video on Sunday along with a stream, and an Embers chapter video on Monday. I hope you guys do excuse the wait, but trust me, it'll all be worth it. But just a final reminder to become a member of my channel or join my Discord server, as both are ways to help support the Blue Lock New World movie as we continue its production. As for the question of the video though, what would you rate Blue Lock episode Nagi chapter 31 on a scale of 1 to 10? Leave me your thoughts down below in the comment section. And like always, thank you all for watching, like and subscribe to see more awesome Blue Lock content just like this.